When innovation fails, it rarely happens because a company lacks engineering talent or financial resources. The breakdown occurs because highly capable teams build solutions for completely the wrong problems. Many enterprises struggle with solution jumping. When market pressure arises, teams instinctively rush to define a product output. They treat surface-level symptoms, commonly referred to as pain points, as the root cause, leaving the actual demand unaddressed. This diagram tracks a four-step framework designed to navigate that complexity. By completing these nodes in order, we can take a vague executive mandate and transform it into a customer success statement based on measurable functional requirements. Establishing a specific starting point is essential to prevent a team from scaling an initial error. If the problem definition is flawed at the start, the rest of the innovation pipeline simply geometricizes that mistake, leading to significant waste in R&D capital. Step 1 requires confronting the inherited requirement. In B2B environments, innovation initiatives often begin as a directive from leadership. For example, a mandate to build an AI routing app. A strategist must interrogate this directive rather than accepting it as a final destination. This matrix represents the Socratic scalpel. It forces the categorization of demands into two columns. On one side, we list organizational assumptions, the proposed solutions. On the other side, we isolate observable, empirical facts about the current business friction. To populate this matrix, you drill down past the solution until you hit a foundational truth. In our fleet scenario, the empirical fact is that the company is wasting fuel because delivery routes cannot adapt to unpredictable traffic disruptions mid-shift. Grounding the project in empirical facts provides a first line of defense. It ensures the team isn't deploying an expensive, highly engineered band-aid for a symptom while the core problem remains unaddressed. Step 2 identifies the specific individual trying to get the job done. While a consumer purchase is often linear, a B2B ecosystem is a fragmented coalition of actors with conflicting needs. We distinguish between the little hire and the big hire. The little hire is the frontline employee, using a tool to minimize daily friction. The big hire is the executive who acquires a solution to address a macro-level, systemic business outcome. We pinpoint the target by applying the accountability filter. We look at the friction identified in Step 1 and ask, whose professional performance is directly evaluated on whether this specific problem is solved? This map shows the relationship between the driver and the dispatch manager. While the driver experiences the traffic, they don't control the fleet's overarching efficiency. The targeting indicator locks onto the dispatch manager because they hold the systemic liability for fuel costs and delivery windows. Designing for an abstract department or the wrong stakeholder often leads to a bloated product that fails to gain traction. Pinpointing the liable human ensures the solution targets the actual economic driver of the business. Step 3 is defining the job itself. To find a lasting solution, the job definition cannot include references to specific technologies, interfaces, or current software products. This equation uses a strict syntactic formula to define the core job. It requires 3 specific components: an action verb, an object, and a contextual clarifier. Methodically, applying this to our dispatcher strips away the AI app analogy and reveals the foundational struggle: adjust active fleet routes during mid-shift disruptions. This solution-agnostic definition protects the innovation pipeline. While specific digital tools or platforms eventually become obsolete, the underlying functional job remains constant over time. Step 4 transforms that job into a measurable metric called a customer success statement, or CSS. This statement tracks human execution across 4 variables: direction of improvement, metric, object of control, and context. Every CSS must begin with a measurable direction of improvement. This is strictly limited to 2 words: minimize for reducing friction, or increase for augmenting value. This framework employs a strict lexicon blacklist. We reject subjective words like empower or feel, and interface-specific words like click or log in. These words are discarded because they describe emotional states or specific technologies, rather than measurable functional outcomes. This is the completed CSS for the dispatcher scenario. We combine the directional metric with the objective reality of the delay to get minimize the time it takes to reroute active delivery vehicles following a warehouse delay. Adhering to this restricted lexicon helps prevent respondents from projecting their own subjective meanings onto a survey. This structure provides a consistent baseline for quantitative validation, reducing the likelihood that the resulting data is distorted by vague interpretations. This comparison shows the transformation in strategic clarity. We began with a risky, unvalidated mandate for an AI app and arrived at a structured, objective definition of the problem we are actually trying to solve. By isolating the exact executor and mapping their solution-agnostic job, a team moves away from simply reacting to surface-level symptoms. They begin to function as architects, building on a foundation of verified customer struggles. This de-risked statement is now ready for market validation. From here, an organization can fund staged experiments to test this specific metric in the wild before committing to full-scale capital deployment. Properly identifying and measuring the real job provides the clarity needed to avoid corporate theater. By defining the struggle before designing the solution, an organization can focus its resources on addressing the fundamental economic drivers of the market.